They assemble at night, each one having prepared as diligently as possible for the time given to them before the witching hour, the hour of reckoning, the time when they begin outdoor cartoon television. Stray Casts is on the air.
Good evening, glory. Hallelujah to you. What the heck's your story and what's going through you? This is the glorified version of a bass fishing talk show. I'm your host, Pat Renwick. Give it up for yourself, Bass Galaxy. Come on. It's a Wednesday night. We're doing it. This is the time of the year. This is the episode we all look forward to. It's the Bassmaster Classic Celebration Show. And we are honored and stoked to bring to you tonight, Bass Galaxy, your champion, Easton Fothergill, live tonight. Yeah. We're all kind of pumped up. Yikes. Holy cow. Not only Easton Fothergill, but a plethora of sneaky cameos. Of course, all kinds of shenanigans. Ladies and gentlemen, he's back in the saddle and riding derb mode over there. He's my co-host. That's Ryan Popcorn Whitaker over there. Give it up for Popcorn Elias. The world famous Green River Ryan Popcorn Whitaker. You may have seen him on the gram or the TikToks or the book faces. He was fishing in the Chicago River for that smallmouth bass. Ryan, amazing footage.
Thanks.
Once in a lifetime op.
Thanks, Josh Sokol, for making me do it.
Josh is amazing. Hello to Josh Sokol, a member of the Stray Cast team at home, of course. Hi, Josh. Josh cutting up clips for us out there, and you guys did an amazing job. That was cool, Ryan.
Oh, thanks.
That was your Bassmaster Classic, so congratulations. Congratulations.
It was wild.
On that.
It was wild.
Hey, at home, running the chat board is Rockin' Shoal Fantasy. Give it up for Rockin' Shoal in Alabama. That's all part of his Rock and Shoal fantasy. Now get this. This evening, you are going to have an opportunity to ask Easton Fothergill your very own questions. Get them up on the chat board. And Rock and Shoal is going to remind you all night. Keep adding some cues. We're going to ask them as they come up. So at the end of the show, your chance to ask Easton Fothergill anything tonight. Also want to remind you, like and share the live Facebook feed. Okay, get this, Popcorn, crazy stuff going on. Easton Fothergill is giving away a Bassmaster Classic winning tackle pack. What? Yeah. All you got to do is like and share the live Facebook feed. Boom. Okay. Also,
that's awesome.
Yeah, pretty awesome. Amazing. I know you want in on that.
I
deal
do
right there.
I do. I'm gonna share it right now.
Sims giving away Easton's favorite gloves. That's right. Easton's favorite sun gloves. Like and share the live Facebook feed. Get this. More. There's more. Here's the third one. Waterland giving away a pair of laydowns. Those are Easton's favorite shades. Like and share the live Facebook feed. And last but not least, of course, Per Quo, a box of Tin Cup Mountain whiskey fun goodness to your door. Like and share the live Facebook feed. It's that easy. Nice. That's a lot. And it's a Bassmaster Classic show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know who?
Yeah.
You know who's a lot?
Who's a lot?
You know who's over the top?
The guy over there?
No, the guy way out in Hobart, Indiana.
Yeah,
The one, that's over there. Eastward, westward, southward. The one and only Andrew Ellenberger. He's a Ginger Ninja. Ginge, how you doing, bud?
Good, man. How are you?
All right, man. How's things over in Hobart, Indiana?
Busy.
Busy as can be. Andy, it's Bassmaster Classic time of year. And there's a bunch of swag. I wish you could have come with me. We got a bunch of memorabilia for you.
Awesome.
Yeah, but do you believe
We got sweat towels?
Yeah, we got some sweat towels. Ryan's gonna wave them earlier. Plus, we got confetti. Plus, we got confetti, traditional style. But Andy, do you believe all the prizes tonight for Easton? Everybody's stepping forward, man.
That's pretty good ones, yeah.
I like it. I know you have already liked and shared the live Facebook feed because you want the Easton tackle pack. I know you're not kidding.
Yeah.
I know you're not kidding. All right, let's pay a few bills, Andy, and then get with the big show. What do you think?
Let's do it.
Yes, here we are. Straight Cast Bassmaster Classic Edition. Hey, Ryan.
Yeah.
You know what? Omnia Fishing also sponsors Easton Fothergill, Bassmaster Classic champion. Bassmaster Classic champion, Easton Fothergill. I mean, that's got to have a ring to it.
It's got a ring to it.
Now, they just had a 20% off deal. I think if you missed it, you screwed up. I don't know.
Yes.
But there's... go ahead.
Don't forget,
yes.
They're still taking submissions for the all bass pro team.
Oh, the hair.
Sorry, the all hair bass team. All hair bass pro team.
Fair hair bass team.
Yeah, they got awesome prizes for this. If you got hair,
you might as well get it.
I'm out.
Yeah,
but
you can put a wig
with
on.
Follicles.
Yeah, I'm ineligible.
Point.
I'm ineligible.
I need that wig.
But you could get what do you call them? A weave.
Sure.
That would be great on you.
Yeah, it's perfect for you. Yeah.
Perfect for you. Check it out, omniafishing.com. And don't forget the Premium Pro app right there. Hey, Impulse Lithium batteries. Don't skip a beat. Had a heck of a time hanging out with Bill and Darlene and Josh and Huds and everybody at the BMC in the Impulse Lithium booth. And want to remind everybody, Impulse Lithium Tournament Rewards Incentive Program. All right.
Yes.
Sign up today. Money back. Any derb, 50 boats or more.
500 bones.
500 bones at you. And Ryan, shopping made easier or easy for Impulse Lithium batteries with the Pro Packs. 36 volt charger with the 12 volt all-in-one pack shipped to your door in a couple days. ImpulseLithium.com. Check out some special deals going on there right now.
Yeah.
Hey now. Oh, okay. Get this. Bob's Jack Plate.
Yep.
Heck of a time hanging out with Bob's. Ryan, you are all kinds of jacked up on Bob's Jack Plate, and it's the water's so low around here, you're gonna need this.
Yeah,
I mean, you really are gonna need
you want to
this
take off anyway.
Yeah. Power Pole, the new one pump, got to see all that in action, and of course, the Move trolling motor at the Bassmaster Classic. Cool stuff, and some more cool stuff coming up from Power Pole in the near future. Right, we're zipping right along. Mad Science Print Lab, your boys right over there. What are they up to?
Dude, right now they're making our hats for Tightrope, but
Nice.
amongst other things. But yeah, no, they're up to everything.
They wear many hats.
Anything printing, screen printing, DTF transfers, embroidering, hats, custom patches, custom jerseys, whatever you want. If it can be printed, they got it.
Mad Science Print Lab. Tournament jerseys and hoodies. Don't forget about that. Soon to be the industry's leading tournament hoodie and jersey supplier in the Bass Galaxy right there. Tell them Ryan Popcorn Whitaker sent you.
Do that.
The Green River guy.
They love that.
Hashtag the Green River guy. That's you right there. Berkeley showed out at the Bassmaster Classic. We didn't win, but John Cox, Hunter, Jordan, amazing finishes. Of course, man. Hunter flipping the tube. Johnny Cox doing his usual arsenal of goodness.
The general.
Yeah, the general and Fritz Seiden and Colshaden and Craw Dogging and all that good stuff. And Jordan just doing his deal. It's pretty cool to see our boys in the top 10 there. Congratulations to Team Berkeley. We want to remind you that the full line of Abu Garcia, Berkeley, and Fenwick products are available at omniafishing.com. Buddy. What do you say we, one more time, like and share the live Facebook feed. Prizes from Easton Fothergill, from Sims, from Waterland, and Tin Cup. So, it's going to be a party tonight. Let's get the show started. You want to? Did I get everything? Did I cover everything?
I think you nailed it.
Did we do all this?
Yes.
We did it all. Oh, the Tin Cup Whiskey
No,
word of
you
the
didn't
week.
do everything. The Tin Cup Whiskey
The
word of the
Tin
week.
Cup word of the whiskey week is word of the whiskey week is Bassmaster Classic. Okay,
Sure.
if you hear
Either
the
one.
word Bassmaster Classic, take a sippy. It can be anything. It could be a cafe con leche, an ice cold Coca-Cola, or of course a tin cup mountain whiskey. And when you sip, please sip responsibly. Time. Put the power pulls down. Don't go anywhere. The Stray Cast Bassmaster Classic celebration of Easton Fothergill commences after these words from our advocates. Peace. Power pull down for pleasure. We'll be right back.
There's a moment when you're faced with a challenge, and just solving the problem isn't good enough, even if that means breaking the rules and shredding apart conventional ways of thinking, all in the name of creating something truly remarkable. With this much control at its command, we didn't stop with just one. We created two incredible trolling motors. Introducing the new Power Pole Move brushless trolling motor.
This is the mountain, and this is mountain whiskey. Unspoiled, untamed, forever wild. There's no safety net, no way down. Up here, it's just man, and the mountain, and his tin cup. Tin Cup Whiskey. Mountain whiskey.
Omnia Premium Pro gives you the confidence to eliminate dead water on thousands of lakes across the U.S. Exclusively on the Omnia app, use 10 unique data layers containing critical real-time mapping information to see water temperature, water clarity, contours, lake bed hardness, and important weather data all in one place. Matched with Omnia's loyalty credit program on all your tackle and gear needs, this is the only app you need in your arsenal for success on the water.
Nice, dude.
Yeah, buddy. Welcome back. This is the glorified version of the Bassmaster Talk Show. I'm your host, Pat Renwick. That's Ryan Popcorn Whitaker. In Bass Galaxy, we are proud and honored to bring to you your Bassmaster Classic champion, the one and only, the anomaly, proper bassin' man. Give it up for Easton Fothergill, the Beaston capturer of bass, the one and only. He is here amongst you. Easton, welcome.
How's it going, guys?
Yes. Congratulations, bud.
Thank you. Thank you.
Holy cow. You did it.
I did it. It's pretty crazy.
You did it. A couple weeks ago, had the honor of sharing a boat with you over on Lake Okeechobee, and and you were really getting used to the ring of Easton Fothergill Bassmaster Elite Series angler.
Yeah.
Now you got to get used to the ring of Easton Fothergill Bassmaster Classic champion.
It'll take a while to get used to that ring.
Wow, bud. I mean, unreal. Like, I got to tell you, I never met Ray Scott, but I sure like to think that I know a lot about him. And I told you on the phone before, I think that he would be proud of you, man. You are a fine example of what a Bassmaster Classic champion should be. Give it up for Easton Fothergill again right now, Bass Galaxy. He's your guy. He's your guy for a whole year here. And it's quite an honor to carry, you know. I mean, I'm sure you've been thinking about a few things, but you got a whole year ahead of you as a Bassmaster Classic champion.
It's
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. Every derb you go to now, you are Bassmaster Classic champion, Easton Fothergill. Every derb you go to now, every one of your peers, every one of your competitors, they're after you. They're after you even more. They're going to congratulate you because they are proud of you. But you know what? They're still ready to John Rambo you, if you know what I mean.
As always, yeah.
Fiercest competitors in the world, and you beat the top dogs in the game. Ray Bob,
Yeah.
you beat him, dude. That's nuts. I mean, absolutely nuts, dude.
I mean, are you settled into the? Is there anything about this that could help you settle into your first year on the Elite Series? I mean, I know you had a couple struggles and then boom, biggest title in the sport.
Whoops.
And then on to the third tournament of the year. You know, it's like, is this going to help you? Do you think?
Oh, yeah, definitely. To know that I'm already qualified for Knoxville is a super good feeling for sure.
Right.
I mean, yeah, no stress the rest of the season. Go try to get a blue trophy now, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, just every derb now. Like I said, they're after you, bud. So you got nothing but to swing every single event going forward. But dude, again, just such an amazing accomplishment. And if we may, let's go through a brief little timeline of your history. Okay. First off, before we get going here, I gotta tell you, Easton, we got a lot of cool stuff lined up for you tonight. So we have some sneak guests tonight that are going to come on and kind of left hook you. Okay. If you're ready for it, they're going to basically wish you all well and congratulations on your deal. And also, of course, this is a party. Easton, you're giving away party favors. You're giving away a Easton Fothergill Classic winning pack. So that's basically whatever Easton wants to throw you for a Bassmaster Classic prize. That's pretty awesome, though, coming right from Easton. Also, Sims is giving away your favorite gloves tonight, Easton. That's pretty cool.
Awesome.
Yes, so there's the second deal there. Also, Waterland giving away a pair of laydowns. The pair you
the ones I was wearing, yeah.
Yeah, those are the ones you were wearing at the derb. And of course, just to celebrate, a box of Tin Cup Mountain Goodness to your door. And whenever you hear the word Bassmaster Classic, take a sip of anything and sip responsibly. Like and share the Facebook feed. Your chance for prizes tonight with Easton Fothergill. I'm excited about the sneak guest tonight, Easton.
I don't even know who it is.
Yeah, and also get your questions in. We'll field a few questions from the audience tonight at the end of the show for Easton as well when we give the prizes away. Let's do a little timeline, if we may, Easton, and please feel free to come on in anytime you'd like and give your 2 cents about this. So let's start. Basically, you were a college derb demon at Montevelo, right?
Yeah,
I mean, just tearing it up. You and Nick, right?
Me and Nick.
You and Nick just tearing it up. And then all of a sudden, you started feeling some immense pain.
Mm-hmm.
You got into something was going on with you, and you just didn't feel like Easton Fothergill. Okay. And the deal with that was, it's a month before the big college bracket tournament, right?
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
we're just getting real right off the bat. All right. You go to you have to go to the doctor, and they find a massive tumor in your head. It's the size of a tangerine.
Mm-hmm.
And like now your whole life is taking a different direction.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is the biggest left hook a person can be thrown. One of the biggest events at that time, you thought this college bracket derb coming up was going to be the biggest event that you had fished so far, and it was to date. But this is thrown to you.
Mm-hmm.
You take care of it, right? They remove it, and you're ready to go again. Like unheard of recovery time. This is something that just doesn't happen. Yet it further shows that this is meant to be.
Absolutely.
And I'm sorry, I'm having trouble conveying this because I get chills talking about it. We've known this about you for a long time. I remember talking about it when Seth and I first met you,
Mm-hmm.
But just the fact that I know you never knew it would lead to this. We never knew it would lead to this. Yet it seems that there's a higher power there that had an exact path and plan for you, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting chills just thinking about it.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, you explained it perfectly. They thought it was a tumor at first. It ended up not being a tumor. It was an abscess.
Okay, my bad. Sorry.
But same thing, basically. It just wasn't cancerous. It was just an infection. So
I only play a doctor on TV. I'm really now in real life.
But no, I mean, you said it perfectly. Just there's definitely a bigger, higher up plan that, I didn't know at the time, but it's been super cool from then on to have that trajectory that I did.
Is bass fishing your saving grace?
I mean, it's all I do. It's all I think about.
You're consumed with it. Yeah, you love it. You
Yeah.
love it.
Mm-hmm.
And may I give the Bass Galaxy an example? When you were recovering physically and mentally from your surgery, you were pretty much exhausted for most of the recovery. And then it was kind of like a light. I remember you telling me a light switch flipped and you kind of felt a little better.
Mm-hmm.
But what's amazing is, and how much you love bass fishing and how much it makes you feel better. You studied bass fishing the whole time about the lake. What was it, in Kansas where the college bracket derb was?
Yeah.
And I remember you saying there wasn't much to learn except so you had to go to Google. And most of the spots you found when you were recovering were at home from Google. And then you went and fished them and won the event.
And won the tournament off those spots. Yep.
That's perseverance.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. And that got you through it. Ryan, do you believe that?
I mean, I watched it. So yeah. But I mean, it's incredible. It's what I want to know too. What was the recovery time from that surgery? Like how soon were you back on the water?
I mean, let's see. I was in the hospital a week because what they did was they aspirated the abscess, so they took 60% of it out and they cultured it to find out what bacteria it was, so they could treat their other 40% with antibiotics. So it took about a week for that to happen in the hospital, and then all this took place in Alabama, and then I moved back to Minnesota to heal further. And then just a couple days before the bracket is when I got the clear.
Wow.
And I bombed down to Alabama. There's actually a college tournament, right before the bracket that I fished. Like I want to say 2 days before the bracket. The practice started for the bracket. I fished that just to make sure all's good. And then we drove over to Kansas and fished the bracket.
So it was just a couple weeks.
Yeah, within a month.
3 weeks.
Yeah,
3
that's
weeks.
nuts.
Wow.
Insane.
Man.
That's not even real recovery time.
I mean,
It's pretty amazing.
I told my parents in the hospital bed, I'm fishing it. I don't care what we have to do. I don't care if the IV stand's going to be on the front deck, the front deck with me. I don't care if the hospital bed's going to be on the front deck. Like, I knew how much that tournament could change my life if I was able to win it. So I was going to do whatever it took.
Yeah, you called that one.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
And he did win it and went on to fish your first Bassmaster Classic, the Tulsa Classic, in 2024. And as a college bracket champ, you finished the 16th in that event. Not two shabs, Easton Fothergill. Okay.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Now you are bitten. You're fully consumed, right? Okay. That first classic, you tasted a little blood, 16th place finish. Now it's on to the 2024 Opens where you won 2 and almost won another one. Right? Kentucky Lake, you were second, weren't you?
That was a college event.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, my bad. I mean the two events you won at the Opens, I mean, solidifying your Elite Series berth,
Yeah, not
man.
bad in the rest of them either.
Yeah. I mean, just a force, dude. Like everybody before this whole classic deal here was already talking about Easton Fothergill. Already.
Yes.
Like when you pulled up to that first Elite Series event, everybody was already looking at you. Do you know that?
I guess
They were. You had a rep, bud. You had a rep. They read your file. They knew about you.
not to boost the ego too much, but like he's saying, at your first event, I have a fantasy league, Bassmaster Fantasy League, and I was looking through the picks, and you're all over that thing for the first first two tournaments.
That was him, yeah.
And the classic. I'm just like,
he shocked you. He left hooked us
That
with a
doesn't-
93 and a what was it, a 1 something.
that does not happen much from guys coming out of the Opens. I mean,
Not from Easton Fothergill
there's a
either.
buzz.
And you know what that did? It lit the fire under his dupa, as they would say.
right.
And he was like, I am not taking this anymore. And then he just said, I'm going to win the big club derb,
Mhm.
the championship, Ray Scott's Bassmaster Classic. And lo and behold, you did. With style and a margin to boot.
Do you think you perform better under pressure?
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
You do? Okay.
Yeah.
Can you describe that? Like,
I mean,
how does that come about though? I mean, like we said, first 2 events this year, not so great. So you're probably feeling some pressure going into the classic. You want to have a good showing, but what does it influence? I mean, what does that influence do to you? What does that pressure do to you on the water? Is it hyper focus, or is it, I mean, can you describe that? Like how you,
Or do you
Did you
spin out
change
to
anything?
success?
yeah.
I mean, the pressure thing's, I don't know if that's the right word, because I'm so competitive. I put pressure on myself no matter what event it is. So I feel like there's always a little bit of pressure.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter if it's a local, tournament on the Coosa River or something. I put pressure on myself. But I mean, having those first 2 events, like I said, how competitive I am, it did make me really upset to have a start like that to my career, to my Elite Series career. But I don't know why exactly I had those finishes. I think I fished scared to an extent, because of the nerves, in part. But when you have those nerves and stuff, it's a lot harder to make those decisions on the fly that you have to make to do good in a multi-day event.
Right.
So I think that's a big part of it. But yeah, to be honest, I really don't know why I had those finishes, but yeah, we did. So
maybe it's not pressure so much as you're your own slump buster. Like, a baseball team has a starting pitcher that's a slump buster.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you're just doing that. You're like, I can't have 3 bad tournaments.
Not
in a row.
happening.
So
Yeah,
win
I
the
mean,
third.
yeah.
It lit the Kindle under his dupa. That's what it did.
You just need a couple bad ones to piss you off enough to get out there and just I don't know, maybe an extra
Pretty
boost
much,
of
yeah.
energy. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
yeah. Thank you.
and now, I mean, the big trophy's yours. Now, who knows what the future holds here? It's like it's written. It's meant to be, quite frankly, if you look at it that way. It really is. Ryan, let's say we talk a little bit about this magical derb that Easton just won.
Okay.
The Ray Bob champ. You know what I mean? Dude, you guys had a tough derb conditions wise. All right.
Mhm.
First off, we always heard Rick Clunn tell us that the wind is our friend, but that was a little extreme, wasn't it, Easton? That was a little much.
That was beyond extreme.
Little extra there.
Yeah.
How I mean, come on, bud. You guys were just, I mean, we were getting blown down the streets of Fort Worth. You know what I mean? From the wind. But you guys on the water, yikes.
No, it was that first day of practice when we first got into town, when the gusts were, I think they were up to like 70 or something crazy like that. I mean, that's not a big lake to have 6-footers, and there were 6-footers out there, like actual. And, you know, I had the bright idea to go over to the east side, launching on the west side. So I got caught in it. I got to drive. I got to enjoy the ride back over to the ramp.
Holy cow. That'll muscle you up quick on the plum crushers.
Yeah. But no, it was, I mean, I did my best in practice to, you know, I was watching the weather for the tournament. Like, you know, I was watching it by the hour, trying to best prepare myself for the tournament, trying to find things. Because, you know, like you said, I want to always be in the wind, but, you know, 40-mile-an-hour wind is too much. So I kind of wanted to, you know, there's a fine line there. But yeah, I wanted an area in every corner of the lake to, you know, to be able to fish efficiently in any wind direction. So that was kind of my main goal in practice.
And you were there, right? You went in the pre-practice before the cutoff, didn't you?
You talking the January cutoff or the 3 days that they give you? Yeah, I went early December.
Right. So you kind of knew how to get around there. And
yeah, I went there just with the main goal of learn how to navigate the timber, find some lanes. And then, yeah, I mean, I fished a little bit the last 2 days I was there.
And did that pre-practice, did that play a little bit with your, you know, with the actual practice and the event itself?
I mean, it played huge because, you know, there's so much timber out there. I mean, you know, you could spend your whole 4 days that they give you during the actual practice, you know, just trying to figure out how to get around. But, you know, on top of that, I found 2 populations of fish that I felt, you know, like I felt it was 2 zones that could go down in the tournament. And, you know, that's where I started when we came back. And my goal was to relocate those fish and then hopefully be able to duplicate it on the rest of the lake. And that's exactly what I did. It didn't take long. I was able to relocate those fish. They were set up on your classic pre-spawn type stuff. And
seasonal stuff.
Yeah, that's what I ran all over the lake.
You're really sounding like a Yankee right now, just so you know, with your fish location presentation system in the zones, in the seasonal patterns that 90% of the fish are in 10% of the lake. You know what I mean, Easton Fothergill?
It's about how it went down.
Yeah, that's how you grew up, isn't it? Gordon taught you well, didn't he?
Yeah.
Pretty good Outlander.
Thanks. Yeah, Al and Gordon.
That's a Chicago accent.
That was a Chicago kind of deal. But Easton knew exactly what I was talking about because it really was.
Mm-hmm.
Those lanes that you're talking about, are those not marked well on your mapping for that lake? Is it?
I mean, there is some lanes that you can get for that lake, but they only take you to a couple. You know, there's much more that you can find beyond that. You know, by yourself.
They don't take you all the way back. Probably
right.
Just a short way.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a huge move. I mean, having to do that in huge waves, like that would be a nightmare.
I mean, your boat would not be happy with that. Yeah.
I mean, I would have been nervous too. I mean, thinking about all that wind, like a lot of that timber could have been moved.
And think about this too. So. You're what, 23?
22,
youngest guy to ever win a classic.
Second
youngest.
Sorry.
Stanley Mitchell.
Stan Mitchell, of course. That's right. Old Stanley on the worm. Yeah. But probably the youngest Yankee to ever win.
Yeah.
An event. But here's the deal: 22 years old, navigating that timber.
Yeah.
Me at 22, that would not go well. Not go well.
You'd have your paper chart out.
Yeah, my paper graph.
Your paper graph.
And I'd throw a marker buoy out so I knew there was a stump there at the timber lane. You know what I mean? It would not happen well. But I mean, that came into play big time. It shows how much of a derber you actually are at 22 years old, bud. You know, and sorry, I'm older than you were. That's way more mature. 23.
How much of I mean, obviously you started fishing tournaments in high school. I mean, is that where, how much help was that? Obviously it had to have been great for the learning curve of tournament fishing, but I mean, this is why, like we're saying, you're 22, but I mean, how many years have you been fishing bass tournaments running a boat?
I mean, I fished tournaments with my dad for as long as I can remember since I was tiny, but actually running the boat, I would say just a little bit before high school, you know, local tournaments around the house.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, high school, obviously I learned a bunch. That's where I really learned like the tournament mindset. You know, my dad's been doing it a long time, learned a bunch from him throughout high school and how to, you know, apply it, you know, on the fly basically.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I took that onto college and that's where I really applied it everywhere in the country and realized that, you know, the tournament mindset that I've learned, you know, around Minnesota does work on basically any lake you go to. So I guess over the course of the 4 years at Montevallo there, I just got more and more confident that, you know, my style of fishing does work everywhere you go. And it took a little while for me to get comfortable, I guess, identifying my fishing style. But once I did, you know, the confidence just grew and grew and grew.
And I love the fact that you used, all kidding aside, we were talking about the in fisherman principle, but you used traditional historic fish locations and movements and seasonal patterns to your advantage. We hear so many people say that, oh, if you're using a live scope, that none of that stuff matters. Nobody uses any of that stuff. But here's you using every advantage you possibly can on the water to catch fish.
Oh yeah, you have to.
And being smarter than gentlemen half your age out there and fooling more bass.
Yeah, I mean,
plain and simple, man. You used what you learned to your advantage, and a lot of people might be missing that seasonal approach, and just purely out pinging.
Well, I mean, they're not
gonna
at all. It's not gonna tell you know. The live scope, you're shooting it out 100 feet, 120 feet, maybe. It's not telling you what creek the fish are. I mean, you have to be able to pattern fish to get to them.
Exactly. So most of the guys making comments that are holding catfish by their eyes on their profile pictures need to realize these things. All right, we'll talk more about that.
I never used it. Yeah.
Pliers. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Let me hold these catfish with pliers. This is a good profile picture. Snap it. Take 3 more. Give me one on 0.5. All right. Hey, dude, hard bottoms. Go figure. A key to your success. I remember when Bill Dance taught us that with the flipping stick when we were kids.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, the bottom's hard.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hard bottom gals. We're going to catch them. You know what I mean? Right there, dude. How important was that?
Oh, it's key. I mean, yeah, I mean, the biggest thing with this lake is, you know, it's just miles of timber. You know, it's a forest out there, but there's only a small percentage of timber that interests me out of that whole field. You know what I mean? Like, it's more about the bottom, you know, contours than it is about the actual timber. You know, it's got to be in the right locations for them to stage on it.
Those fish were obviously getting ready to do things on that last day. Were they ripening up? Could you tell the difference?
The last day I was around, you know, another close to 30-pound bag all day long. They were just being so weird. I don't know. I just could not figure out what I just couldn't get dialed in on what the right technique was to trigger them, I guess.
And apparently the right technique was that Neko rig, right? Is it Neko rig or Neko rig?
Same difference.
Are you saying Pam or Pan? I don't know.
I always heard Nico.
Nico,
but there's only one E, so it should be Neko.
It's Neko.
Whatever.
But anyway, I mean, that was a key ingredient. Also, a good old half-ounce jig, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know? I weighed 1 fish a day on a jig.
Okay.
On brown jig, yeah.
You had to just to keep it real, didn't you?
Yeah, I had to jerk on one.
Had to keep it proper. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I mean, And every time I would watch you battling those fish on that spin pole, you were amazingly confident with it. And then you were just handling them, bud, especially that old Biggs that won the Derb for you on the last day. I mean, handling it. And then lo and behold, you got that big leader on there. Like you were going, Ryan, what was he using?
17-pound leader, right?
Mm-hmm.
8-pound braid.
Yep.
Which I always thought was like, I've always heard that that's just wrong. Like, don't do that.
Al Linder told you not to.
Diameters.
Yeah.
Everybody. I mean, in the beginning of the braid to leader stuff, it was always like, try to match your diameters because your knot won't be right. But you're not having any issues with that, tying that thing up.
He was Texas sizing.
Obviously. I mean,
yeah, no issues. I'm always very hesitant to upsize my braid because I lose the castability. Then I lose the distance and the accuracy and just everything with the castability.
Yeah, totally understand that. I 100% agree. And I don't think, like, how many times have you broken 8-pound braid like on a fish?
People don't credit 8-pound braid nearly enough. That stuff
Right.
is strong.
It's great. Yeah.
That's John Cox.
That's it. Yeah.
I mean, that's his deal.
Fire line,
yeah, that's his deal, man.
It is incredibly strong. I mean, I use a lot of 8-pound braid too here on the Great Lakes. I mean, I use 5-pound braid a lot too. And you almost never break that stuff. But I never thought of going with the heavier leader. And is there a specific knot that helps with the smaller braid to the heavier fluorocarbon?
I just do the Alberto. That's all I do. Nothing too special. I just do 6 wraps down, 6 wraps back up.
Okay.
And is that 17 is that often the size leader you use, or was you just upsizing because of Texas and the timber?
Just Texas and timber. I usually use 8 to 12 is my typical. I just upsized to 17 because, bigger fish and gnarlier structure.
And I know that that hook that you use on there, it's like,
you know about that hook?
Oh yeah, that's your, like, you guard that
That's
as
my
your
baby. Yeah,
as your deal, dude. Like, you got into the
deal.
elites with that hook, honestly.
Good luck getting one right now.
Yeah, and
They are gone.
I mean, it's it handles them. It handles them.
Yeah.
Gaff and ski.
The deal this week was I usually just use the normal one with no weed guard or nothing, but I was using the heavy guard one, and that's the first time I've used it really. And I could throw it, doing the deal I was doing, especially in the 40-mile-an-hour wind. If you throw like a bad cast or something, if you didn't have that stiff guard, you'd be breaking those things off like left and right. But
oh gosh, so
with
frustrating.
that super stiff guard, you could just feather it through anything, and I hardly ever got hung, which obviously helps so much with the efficiency of it.
I heard you talking about the hook set with that heavy guard. Like, what can you explain the difference between, no guard and then with a guard, like the difference of the hook set?
Yeah, with the normal talisman, I basically just lean into them and you're good to go. But with that super stiff guard, it's more of a snappy hook set. You just, it's like a quick movement to
slackline them.
Yeah, basically you slackline them.
Okay.
And
The old Aaron Martin's trick with the heavy gauge hook too.
Yeah, exactly.
Spin pole.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah, and
not to get all leader heavy here. I know we talked about leaders a lot, but
you were so caught up on that earlier. I can't believe the kid was using 17-pound just on 8-pound. I was so out of the ram.
I just never do it because I'm like, it's probably gonna slip out or something. I don't know. It just didn't seem right. But I'm gonna try it now.
Changer.
But length of that leader, is there any importance to that? I mean, I know you're fishing pretty dirty water, so in dirtier water, like what are you tying versus clear water? It doesn't matter.
Lately, I guess when I'm up north, like on the Great Lakes, like say I'm fan casting a hair jig or a small swim bait or something, I'll do a really long leader when I think the fish will follow a bait a good distance.
What's really long?
4 to 6 feet.
Okay.
No.
But
not obnoxious.
I do.
When
You're
I'm
a guide
scoping,
though. You don't want to read tie.
Exactly.
That's what he's doing.
Yeah.
When I'm using scope, it's sometimes it's even a foot if I'm throwing like a big minnow or something. But I was doing, I don't know, 2.5 feet when I was at the Classic. I want it short enough because I feel like when it's really long, I don't want it to go through my guides too much because I feel like it alters my cast.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted it long enough because, the more length you have on that 17, the more abrasion resistance you have. So I feel like 2 to 2.5 feet was kind of my happy medium I settled in.
Nice. Got to get a little stretch for the abrasion resistance, right?
Right.
So, yeah.
Man, I mean, you put the equation together, bud. And one of the things that I think that you may have over your competitors, besides almost 10 pounds, I guess, that day or whatever was your, so everybody's talking about the ability of everyone to be a good scoper and learning that new technique, that new tool. Something that you have taken the extra mile is your ability to tell bucket heads from trash fish.
Mm-hmm.
And I know, like Ryan, you and a lot of your guys at the club on the big lake struggle with that. A lot of Midwestern guys struggle with that. That's especially in Texas as well. A lot of Texans,
sheephead.
Yeah, there's sheepheads and the catfish and everything else. I had heard some sneaky stuff that sometimes, correct me if I'm wrong, sometimes if it looks like a catfish, you should throw at it.
Oh yeah.
Is that true? And
Especially
those are some of your biggest bass.
Yeah.
What does that even mean? What does that even mean? I don't know what that means.
If you see whiskers, throw at it.
Meow. Seriously, what does that mean?
Yeah, I mean,
describe what a catfish looks like, or what is that? I don't know what that means. I don't scope, so I need to know.
So what I've learned is a bass looks different on a lot of different lakes. Like they swim differently. But the thing that's the same on every lake you go to is the way they react when you throw bait at them. They react the same anywhere you go. But it's all about how they look in the water column before you throw at them. Like in Texas, for example, I don't know why, but a lot of them swim with their nose down, which you go like Coosa River or something, you don't throw out that fish. It's a drum every time. But in Texas, a lot of them swim with their nose down. Really? And it's really interesting. And you know, my couple key indicators are a bass will change altitude, I call it, in the water column. If you see a fish going up and down, you know, going all around, it's a bass every time. You see a bass is pretty territorial of whatever structure it's on. Like you pull it away from a stump or a rock or something and it swims right back to the stump, it's a bass. A catfish, when you pull it off, it'll just kind of keep wandering and, you know, swim off. And then, yeah, I mean, if the bass reacts to your bait, you know, it's hard to explain when a fish reacts to your bait. I mean, that's more instinct than anything. Just I've looked at so many fish, I know the way it reacts if it's a bass or not. But the altitude thing and the whole territorial thing over the piece of structure is my two main indicators once I throw out a fish if it's a bass or not.
Tell me if you noticed this one. This is one that I've noticed where if it's a bass, like if it turns on your bait, they make this shape that I haven't seen another fish make. Like they almost go totally into a ball.
Mm-hmm.
Like if they come left and they do that 180 and their body kind of bends in half.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the only thing I've found where I'm like, that's a bass for sure.
Yeah, and see with the
all
trees,
that stuff you said I haven't seen.
Yeah, with the trees, you know, there's tons of gar sitting in the trees too. And just like you said, the bass can turn on a 180, but the gar have to like swing around. Right. I mean, that's another really good indicator.
Yeah, tight turns.
Yep.
Hey, just tools of the trade and tricks of the technique. and obviously Easton used them to win. I mean,
yeah, I mean, it's just all about being efficient with it. You know, I don't even know how much time you'd spend if you threw out every fish you saw out there. You might not even catch a bass.
Right.
Actually, that's how much junk fish is in the lake.
Yikes.
But yeah, I mean, it's just all about being efficient, doing anything you can to be more efficient than your competitors.
Yep.
Bud, you did it. You won the Bassmaster Classic. I mean, I don't know. And I want to say hats off to the people at Bassmaster for an amazing job covering the event during and after. I think any missing links to his victory as far as techniques and tackle, you can find that at bassmaster.com. Amazing job to the folks at Bassmaster for doing that deal. But I know, Ryan, you did have a chance to probe Ronnie Moore.
Yeah, he was busy.
Yeah, you always have fun probing him.
Yeah.
You catch him, you hold him down, you probe him for info.
I almost think he gets excited about it.
He told me when I saw him, he's like, I look forward to Ryan probing me for information every week. And you don't hear that from people often. In regards to probing.
I have some stats that you might find interesting. I took it a little further this time because your situation is unique. But
I like you. What does unique mean?
Unique. It means
you mean he's just a rookie?
It means a rookie that won the class.
Oh, I see. Okay,
Yeah.
now I get it. Thank you for filling in the asterisk there.
But Easton, so just general stats of your overall Bassmaster career. This is including opens, right? You fished 34 tournaments total with Bassmaster. You've got 4 wins, college, 2 opens, a classic that we're talking about. You've got a second place. You've got 13 top 10s already.
Oh, yikes.
Which is amazing. You've weighed.
Who's this? Denny Brower we're
Yeah.
talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, never.
You've weighed 1,077 pounds of bass, and you've earned $494,701.
Okay.
And what that comes out to is each pound of bass you're catching, each pound is worth $459.
Yes, bud. That's a tournament average right there, Easton Fothergill. That BMC upped it a little. You know what I mean?
And this is with opens. This is with a
that's
lot.
okay.
With
That's
a lot
fine.
quite a few opens and college tournaments.
$450 a pound, bud.
$459.
The kids,
a pound.
you're at like 1,600 a 4-pounder.
Yeah.
Think about that next time you're boat whopping one. You know what I mean? It's all right.
You're also earning $14,550 per tournament.
Okay.
That's including college and opens, too,
All right.
which is crazy. That's really good. But what I had to do, since like the unique situation, you fish 3 tournaments as an Elite Series pro. So
Yeah.
I want what we normally do is only do Elite Series stats.
He
So-
won the big one that counts.
So I took it down to just Elite Series stats. So in your 3 tournaments, I'm counting this classic because it's your rookie year in the elites. You've weighed 104. You've weighed 104 pounds of bass, and you've earned $308,000 in 3 tournaments. And this year, your average, you're earning $2,961 a pound.
All right, let's go. That's a derper. That's an Elite Series angler. That's what we're talking about. Record stats.
You're averaging $102,000 a tournament.
Blew KVD out of the water.
So if you can keep that up, I mean, that's the biggest number we've ever seen. Like I said, I mean, this is unique, but by far, like no one's even close. But you keep that up through this season, and it'll be
like when you look,
black.
if you Google the definition of anomaly, you know how they use it in sentences. Your name, for example, Bassmaster Elite Series rookie Easton Fothergill. #anomaly. That's you, bud. So let's get to know you a little more, okay? Because that's the purpose of this whole Straight Cast show. All right. I mean, we know how you fish. We need to get to know the man, the Bassmaster Classic champion, Easton Fothergill. So the first key to a successful human being is being self-aware. Would you agree, Easton?
Yeah, I'd agree.
What? I mean, so let me ask you this. Do you know how good you are at bass fishing? Do you know you're a badass, dude? Do you know that? Do you?
I mean, sure.
Okay. I mean, can you sincerely say that? Do you know how good you are?
I mean, I guess it's not really something I think about too often, but yeah, I mean, sure. Yeah.
He's thinking about the next derby, man.
I
Yeah,
get it.
I mean,
but
Yeah,
that's,
you can say yes right now.
that's the
Nobody cares.
competitive
Like,
nature. I
you
think
just want a
every
classic.
one of you tournament anglers thinks you're the best tournament angler at that event. You probably should, because you're there to win every event, right? If you're not doing it right.
I mean, yeah, confidence is everything in fishing. I mean,
So you have to be there,
you have
even
to
as
have some of that in you. Yeah.
as a rookie, as a 22-year veteran, whatever. You still have to somewhere think in your mind you are the best angler at this event. I don't care if Rick Klun's the boat next to you, and Seth Feider's over here, and Brandon Palaniuk's there, and Jordan Lee's here. It doesn't matter. You have to think you're the best, or you already lost, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. You have to think you're going to win. Yeah.
And you're 22. That seems almost impossible.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely, I mean, it's different for sure. It's different to, be thrown in the elites and all of a sudden you're like, I got to beat every one of these guys I've looked up to forever. It's a different deal for sure.
Yeah, and there's a difference between confidence in one's ability and cockiness.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
I mean, and you are one of the most humble individuals I've ever shared a boat with. But you know damn well you're good. When you skip under a dock, you know you just 10 out of 10 it. Or 9 out of 10 it at least. You know what I mean? That's what you need to do. You can't be a pro angler and be dinging the goalpost, frisbee golfing docks. You know what I mean?
That's Minnesota, man.
That's that's his Minnesota
That's
upbringing. You
Minnesota
are right.
tournaments,
You
yeah.
are right. Gordon, my dad used to make me shoot 100 layups in basketball till I'd make them all in a row. I bet Gordon made you skip 100 docks until you got them all underneath there. You know, I bet he was on you, dude. But I mean, amazing that you have a quiet confidence. Can we call it that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Can we call it a quiet confidence?
That's pinpointed.
Yeah, I mean, and that quiet confidence enabled you to win the biggest derby in the world. I mean, so here's my question to you, and Ryan kind of asked about it a little bit earlier, but you've been through so much, and so much. Let's just call it pain, dude. Physical pain, all right. And then mental pain with the first few events of this Elite Series event. I mean, let's face it. You went from quiet, confident Easton Fothergill, who's used to just kicking ass, and then all of a sudden you get your butt handed to you in the first two events. Now that's a little something. I'd heard you talk about it on the gram, bud. You know, I heard you do a little confessional, a little YouTube confession, so to speak. Like and subscribe to Easton's channel. I mean, but you were, I mean, you basically, again, self-aware, all right? And you drew upon something. You drew upon something when you were ill to succeed. You drew upon something when you finished horribly, let's say it, in your first two Elite Series events. You drew upon something that allowed you to achieve your goals in every instance. What is it? What are you drawing upon? What's your inner strength? What's your secret?
I guess I don't know. I guess when I struggle, just motivates me to work harder, I guess. You know, even
You screw up, you want to
correct it.
fix it.
Yeah.
Slump buster.
Slump buster.
Like even on Sunday, for example, like I felt like I was missing something because, you know, I was struggling so bad looking at these fish, but I couldn't get them to bite. So it just drives me to work harder because I know I'm missing something. Drives me to work harder to figure it out.
Yeah, what happened there? I've heard you talk about that. You're staring at these fish, they're not biting good. What was it a bait change?
He held his mouth different.
Was it just from what I saw following the event, it was, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seemed like you were just kind of sticking to your guns. You're like, I'm gonna bite. I'm gonna make 5 of them bite.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of two things. You either stick to the fish that you're looking at and you go through every tool that you have to try to get them, or you stick to, you know, what will probably work, but you leave fish to go find fish, which is against like the golden rule of fishing, which that's something that I do. I do that all the time. I leave fish.
You hear that, Ross? That's my tournament partner.
See, that takes a lot of
Listen
canastas right there.
Mhm.
That's a lot, man.
And you know, yeah, I mean, I do that all the time. So
Hey, if you could describe that game winning, that derb winning fish, describe the bite. Like, because I know you were pins and needles, like freaking out. You had to be going nuts inside, dude.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you feel it. Describe the bite. Describe it. Tell us.
All right, so you know, we'll go back to the decision. You know, I was in the area. I caught him day one. You know, I caught 3 keepers in there, and you know, it's 1:30, getting close to 2:00, and I know it's decision time. Do I stay here for one? Do I go to where I caught him yesterday on day 2, where I caught 29 pounds, or do I go to this new area I found the afternoon of day 2, which I checked? That's where I started day 3. Didn't catch anything. Didn't see anything. There was no bait, no nothing. But you know, something in my gut feeling told me to go to that new area I found where I started the day. So, you know, that's where I went, and I pull up to this tree that I had found on day 2 in the afternoon where I had made my last upgrade. I caught a 5-pounder out of it, and there was like 10 of them in that tree. And, I pull into there and there's two great big ones, and I could not get them to bite. So I left them, went further back into the creek, and I found the tree that had the 8-pounder. There's 2 of them, same size, both of them. So I pulled down, got the boat set up perfectly. And, I know, like, I know good enough to know like how big that fish was before I caught it, just looking at it on the thing. So I knew like I'm looking at probably the
You
tournament.
gotta be
winner.
flipping out, dude.
Oh yeah. I mean, the Strike King camera guys could tell like how intense I was. Like, I'm rotating through baits. Like it's funny. They basically know when to turn the video camera on during that event, because they said my body language changes when I see something I like, because I just like I'm
That's awesome.
relaxed, and then all of a sudden I'm game time mode. Like I'm just all tensed up. But no,
Yeah, he's all bowed up. He's like a hunting dog.
But-
He's pointing at him. Yeah.
so it took a long time, because you got to present your bait perfectly. It can't be over any limbs or nothing. You hook an 8-pounder and your line's over a limb, you're screwed. Like, it's not coming in the boat. So that fish was buried in the tree. I'm trying to get the perfect cast to get in there where she can see it, and for whatever reason, something makes her swim out of the tree. She just starts swimming out, and that's when I was able to hit her. She comes
the
up.
bass gods.
Right. No, well, even further than that, she comes up to my bait. She denies it. She starts swimming away. And normally, as soon as this happens, I'm reeling in and I recast. But for whatever reason, I left my bait in there. She got 20 feet away from my bait. And then she lights up like a light bulb and just turns around and she rifles towards my bait and just hammers it.
Oh, yikes. No.
Like, that never happens. For one, I never leave my bait in the water for that. And 2, a fish just never goes from negative and just igniting on it like that. Like, that never happens.
Right, dude. Wow.
You had to go grab something first.
Yeah.
He's
I
like, hey,
guess.
I go
Something.
get this. I'll be back.
Just
Everything that fish did was so lethargic until she had saw my bait, swam away, and then just something made her so mad, and she turned around and just, pile drived it. It was
And
so
she
quick.
was heated, bro.
She said, don't move, or
Yeah.
I'll be back. And
Yeah.
you shook it.
See ya.
Yeah.
And you handled there. That was exciting. That was exhilarating. I've watched it like 5 million times.
Dude,
Hey, we got a bunch of stuff worked up here still we got to get to, but let's get to a little bit of rapid fire. Okay. We want to learn a little bit more about you and how you think. All right. That's the purpose of this here. There's a lot of stuff that goes on in bass fishing that's negative. What's your answer to keeping the negative out?
I just don't pay attention to it.
Don't pay attention.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's the right answer.
Yeah. And it's sometimes it's easier said than done because it's everywhere.
Mhm.
But obviously, you have to block it out. Are you just a scoper? That's all people are saying. I mean, not all people are saying, but I mean, a lot of people. I hate seeing those comments.
Yeah.
I mean, I know the answer. I know you. But
Yeah.
what's your answer to the people that say he's just a scoper?
I mean, you don't get to the Elite Series being just a scoper. You don't.
Thank you.
You don't finish top 9 in the Opens being just a scoper. It's not possible.
But they know better. They have a keyboard. They have a phone, and they can comment on things.
And they've never used one before.
yeah,
so they know
but-
better.
And
I don't know.
they would qualify for the Elite Series event if they just had the opportunity, but boats are too expensive.
Yeah, the entry fees.
Yeah, that's the entry fees. And then they found the weights in the Long John Silvers and screwed the whole tournament world up. And now everybody just forward faces. And then they get beat up at the Bassmaster Classic. I don't know.
You are 100% correct. There is no chance of making it if the only thing you do is scope.
So I have a buddy.
It's the only reason you won, they told us. And then Ryan went to their page and they were holding up catfish with pliers on their profile picture.
The drum by the tail with the pliers.
Yeah, they caught him scoping.
Yeah.
That's the irony of it all.
It's funny.
Unreal. Well, you just gave him the, pardon my French, proverbial bitch slap by winning the Bassmaster Classic. Thank you for doing that, Easton Fothergill. And, hey, America's strong now. We all got phones and keyboards and we can type whatever we want.
Yeah.
Freedom of speech. We all know everything.
It's all there.
Master of the puppets is pulling your string. Know what I'm saying? But all right. Hey, what's the greatest moment in bass fishing history to you, Easton Fothergill? Besides your classic win, I guess would be personal, but greatest moment in bass fishing history.
Bass fishing history. I don't know. There's too many.
I mean, think about what's a favorite one of yours. I mean, a personal memory. There's no right or wrong answer.
Growing up, it's always been Talk 04 Classic and Acme Godzilla video. That's been my two moments.
Hackney Godzilla and Taco 4. Oh, isn't that great?
The talk ones.
Yeah, he knew it.
That's how I felt. That's how I felt at my classic.
Did you really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I mean, Talk knew he won. I knew there was a good chance I won. You know, we're in Texas, anything's possible. But I knew it would have taken the biggest bag of the tournament to beat me, which was a good feeling.
Yeah, it's so great, dude. I can't imagine. I'm getting goosebumps thinking how it must feel. That's nuts. Last year, well, let's just say this. I think you know that these opportunities are available to everyone in the bass fishing world because of Mr. Ray Scott. Mm-hmm. And I mean, let's face it, you fish for the greatest platform in professional bass fishing. You're now basically the king of that platform at 22 years old, buddy. For the remainder of the 2025 season. And it's a lot of weight on one's shoulders. And I'm going to kind of put you on the spot here. As the reigning champion, what's your mission statement for the year? What's your goal of goodness carrying this title?
To show kids that it is possible, that, you know, I worked my way up the ranks from the bottom, and, you know, I'm living proof that it's possible. That's my statement.
Perfect. Yeah, absolutely perfect. I mean, start with your pops, fishing in high school, college bracket, fishing the opens, qualifying how you're supposed to. Boom.
I also want to point out that I have heard from some of your opens competitors that you are the hardest working guy. Or you were the hardest working guy on that tour, and now you're the hardest working guy on the elites. But everybody's saying first boat at the ramp, last boat out.
I mean, that's kind of my philosophy, I guess. I mean, you don't deserve to be the winner if you're not the hardest worker, I guess, is kind of my mindset.
It's awesome.
and he has to be.
Yeah.
He has to be. Or Gordon would ground you. He'd send you to your room because you're only 22 still.
I mean, the biggest thing is I knew I was one of the one of the least experienced people in that field. So I thought I had to be more efficient and I had to outwork everyone. That's how I was going to beat them.
Yep. Not everybody could be the John Daly, you know?
Yeah.
That's John Cox, by the way. Yeah. He's the John Daly.
I believe that. I see that.
But yeah, I mean, it's incredible to see. I mean, you know, a lot of I've fished and traveled to tournaments with anglers your age, and they're not always the first ones at the ramp. I'll tell you that.
No, they oversleep.
You know. Yeah. They could be the first ones to bed and the last ones at the ramp. I've seen that a lot.
Stuff. Are you a guy who where music motivates you? Do you find that, like, when you're traveling between events in the truck, are you more a music guy or more talk on the phone? Are you listening to pods?
I'm not a talk on the phone guy. I guess I'm more of a music guy.
More of a music guy. So what's Easton Fothergill jamming in the truck these days? What's your
Whiskey Myers?
Whiskey Myers is the go-to.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. What's your favorite one by them? Is there one that stands out, jumps off the page?
I like Bury My Bones.
Give me a quote from that fits Easton Fothergill's life.
And I don't know.
Yeah, what's your favorite lyrics from that? Your favorite verse from that song?
I guess I don't have one. I mean, there's that one. I mean, the one last week was Lonely East Texas Nights. I had that one on like repeat just because it made me think about just everything that was going on. That was a good one.
Where you were.
Yeah. And then, you know, there's a bunch of good ones that they have, but I'll just type in like Whiskey Myers, and then there's a Whiskey Myers radio on the Spotify, and I'll just let that go. That's like, it brings out, there's so many other songs that brings out good feelings for me. I guess there's not really a a lyric that sticks with me. It's all good vibes, I guess.
And they really are. Whiskey Myers is just good old rock and roll, is what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, they punch you.
Mhm.
There's there's no doubt about it. Hey, now you're a champion, okay, and again, it carries a lot of responsibilities. So, if there was something that BASS came to you, Easton Fothergill, and said, "What do we need to change? What do we need to change at BASS to better the organization?" Now, you, as a Bassmaster Classic champion, have the opportunity to change it. What would you change?
For me, for the Classic, I would cut Bass Track off earlier.
Oh,
Yes.
interesting. Okay,
Yeah.
make it more sneaky.
Oh,
Like,
so with
could you imagine if you didn't know I had an 8-pounder? You thought I had 4 fish?
It would be so
Yeah.
so nerve wracking.
Yeah.
That's a
I
good
mean, that's-
suggestion for the Classic.
I'd say
actually.
get rid of it the whole final day.
Well, I don't know about that,
Make
but
that
I like
make
the
that
cutoff.
weigh in very exciting.
That's a good
yeah.
idea, actually.
Yeah.
That's not bad. Hey, yesterday, Ryan, I was talking to Easton, and he was eating a pizza. He was eating a chicken ranch. That's what Bassmaster Classic champions eat: chicken ranch pizza. That was a
large.
proper choice right there. You went with that. Is that like a usual deal for you?
Nah, I love pizza. It's not necessarily a ranch one, but I'm a big pizza guy. Yeah.
You're a connoisseur of all kinds of pizzas.
Yeah.
So what's your go-to pie? What's the one? What's the Classic champion? Pizza?
Buffalo chicken's a good one.
Buffalo. You like the exotics?
Yeah.
He's naming exotics. So are you
I go against the grain sometimes with the Hawaiian too.
the Hawaiian one too? That was a college staple.
I'm a big fan.
Or the Hawaiian pizza. Yeah,
There's parts of Chicago that you can get beat up for saying that, but I'll say it right here.
yeah. I mean, that's a college pizza. There's no doubt about that. I'm sure that was a Montebello college
Staple.
pie.
It's a staple. Yeah.
Or ordering the exotics late at night is what it's got to be.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, again, a lot of responsibility, man. You have to set the example now. Easton Fothergill. This just in, ladies and gentlemen, it's our first sneak guest of the evening. Folks, here he is.
There he is.
There he is, ladies and gentlemen. It's the one and only Dirty Llama, Mr. Seth Feider.
What is up, boy?
Huge Easton Fothergill fan. Welcome to Stray Cast, Seth.
Hell yeah, what's happening?
You, buddy, always you. Look at
What are you
that
guys getting
stash.
into?
No, dude, we're noticing that your mustache. For those listening on the podcast tomorrow, Seth, you have a golden hue to your mustache tonight.
Does it? Must be all that pine pollen that was blowing around and Mississippi. got me a little tint.
Give me some of that in a jar and send it over.
That's
please.
called nature's highlights, son.
Yeah.
Right there. Hey, Seth, do you believe it? This kid won the Bassmaster Classic.
Hell yeah. Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Dude, I remember the first time we run into this kid Feider. He was on. We were doing a show from your basement,
Yeah.
and Easton came on, and Easton just. It seemed like you were so nervous, Easton. You just did not have much to say when you were on that thing, and you were like,
I mean, that's just my personality, but yeah.
I mean, but especially
Two words.
you were a man with few.
Chills.
Yeah. But I mean, he let the fishing do the talking, kind of like Seth Feider. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I've talked too much, but yeah, a little bit.
Cliff Pace.
Yeah, not like Cliff. Cliff doesn't talk because he's carving balsa all the time.
You're more exciting than Cliff Pace.
Yes. But I mean, Easton, I know that since you described it as since you were tiny, that you have been a big Seth Feider fan, and he's an inspiration to all you Minnesota anglers.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there's no doubt. I can tell you, every kid, my age and smaller, he's the man to look up to. So, super cool.
The Minnesota OG, the godfather
No, there was some before me, but
well, I know that.
You're the most relatable one as of recent.
I get
Yeah.
it. You're
You're the one of this generation.
that's
you're
Easton's turn now.
That's right.
All the little kids, he'll be him to them.
We'll see.
But I remember, Seth, when we first were talking about Easton, you're like, yeah, this kid's a proper dude. You're like, yeah, he's gonna kick everybody's ass. You watch.
He
watch.
did.
Yeah, and you knew.
He let me down a little them first couple elite derbies, but he's back.
Decent bounce back. Yeah.
He wasn't taking it. He
Totally redeemed yourself.
He really did.
Yeah.
Did you see him handling that Biggs on the last day?
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh. I mean, handling it on a spin pole.
Like it was already in the boat.
Yeah. Oh,
He's got confidence in that hook, man.
Oh
That's
yeah.
not sick.
he's doing sneaky stuff.
Yeah.
He's just like, it's like a spin pole flip stick with the 17.
Yeah.
Handling eights.
Oh yeah.
And eights. What do you think about this kid's victory, bud?
Oh, it was awesome. I don't know if he ended up needing that last fish, but watching him catch that last one and it being a giant to seal the deal on the last day of the Classic was beautiful to watch.
Whether he needed it or not, bass fishing needed that.
We did
fish,
need
so-
it.
Yeah, oh yeah. I
It
felt
was
better about it
fantastic.
after
Well,
he
thank
caught
you.
it because it
For that
was
one.
pretty close when he was sitting on 4. But I don't know if he needed it or not, but definitely a nail in the coffin, so they say.
Yeah.
It was a feel good moment.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Hey, Easton, what's your favorite moment of Seth Feider bass in history? What hops off the page to you about the Dirty Llama?
There's a clip from Cayuga. He boat flops like a 6.
Yeah.
Flip it foil, and there's just one clip that really stands out, and he flips it and he goes like, "Oh, we're gonna have a big old fat sack today," or something like that. That's how that sticks out to me. Or there's one from Champlain. He cranked up like a 5-pound smallmouth, and he gets all fired up while he's fishing that, or he's reeling that one in. That's another. I have those 2 videos saved on my YouTube. I have like a fish catch playlist that I watch all the time, and those are 2 of the videos that's on that playlist.
That's genius.
That's awesome.
You gotta do that.
Motivational fish catches. I love it.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's a classic tip right there.
Fish catch playlist.
Really,
Oh my
it's
God.
great. That's something a Bassmaster Classic
Yeah.
champion does, a fish catch.
Yeah, I need to get on
Doing
that.
that tonight. Yeah.
And Feider, you remember those fish, of course.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
So let me tell you something about Seth Feider, Bass Galaxy, and something you may not know either, Easton Fothergill. He don't even know what he did yesterday, but he knows every dang fish he's ever caught in his life. Literally. It's amazing. I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah, there's just certain stuff my brain doesn't hold on to, and some stuff it does.
Hey,
Good hard drive.
yeah,
It's a good hard drive.
Absolutely.
Debatable.
It's his
my
fish
my
log.
wife doesn't think it's that good.
Yeah, right.
Like, I had a buddy tell me a story about how we got a gun pulled on us while we were fishing like 10 years ago, and after he told me the story, I remembered it, but that thing spent 0 time in my brain since it happened.
It
I
didn't
would
end.
have died and never remembered it if he hadn't brought it up.
Yeah.
Did it end with when we were finished?
No,
No, not that one.
no. We just got on pad and got out of there. But, yeah.
Hey, Easton, did you notice Seth Feider has the hottest TikTok channel on the planet right now? He's a TikTok star.
I did not know that. I'm not on TikTok, so
I ain't either, but I found it hard not to notice that Seth is on TikTok.
I saw the him with Maddie Robertson.
Their workout
I'm sure that
video?
was all over out there. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's-
I worked out for 6 months in preparation for that video. Doing sit-ups and, working the core, pumping the guns a little, just to really sell it. And you could tell Matt went on a diet too for about 6 months before we shot that video as well.
He did great.
And get in fighting shape.
Both parties did great.
Never know what's gonna happen. Well, Matt is pregnant. That's gonna hurt, but he's
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. There's a boy inside of his belly.
yes. We found that out at the Classic at the gender reveal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Matt's pregnant. It's amazing. Hey, Seth, I told Easton that he has a target on his back now at every event. Everybody's going to congratulate him. That's great. But bottom line is, you guys are all out to Johnny Rambo each other in the end, because you got to win.
I don't know if I'd use those words, but it's a good problem to have.
Yeah, it is a good problem to have. Everybody, but I'm telling you, Easton, they're all going to congratulate you, but they really want to beat you. So don't.
Oh, that's how they work. Yeah.
That's how it works.
Bastard.
Yeah. Seth's sugarcoating it a little bit. He's being all
Well, I
kind
don't
and
think
proper.
go and cut them off immediately, but like we all want to win, you know.
Yeah.
And at this opportunity, I would like to take the moment to thank.
We freeze?
What's that?
Or just Patty?
What'd you say? Oh no, we're not froze. Am I froze?
No.
Hell yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. At this time, I want to take the opportunity to thank one of our newest advertisers.
Am I frozen or is it just Pat?
It's just me, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. We can hear you fine, Seth, and you look great. Can you hear me?
It's his phone. Everybody else is fine.
Okay.
It's Feider.
I
Can you hear me?
You sound
Get on the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, you look good. Hey, so Seth, I want
Popcorn,
to.
you got Big Derb coming up?
we got one on Saturday. Yeah.
The old
I'm
Cal
talking to
Sager.
myself.
BLBA. Yeah. It's gonna be fun.
Popcorn will win
It's probably gonna get canceled, to be honest with you. Wind's gonna blow east.
because of Texas
Hell
wind.
yeah.
Tell me when you can hear me, Feider.
Yeah, can you hear us?
Are you going to walk shadow?
Blink twice if you're okay.
Are you okay? Are you in the safe room? He can't even hear us.
He can't hear us.
Hey,
Oh, there you are, Patty.
hey, you got me now.
Yeah.
Hey, I wanted to, before you go, I want to take this opportunity to thank one of our biggest advertisers. If you have not heard of him, he's amazing. He is the one and only Pedro Feider in his mystical, magical, lucky pocket rocks. So thank you, Pedro. Sincerely. Your dad. Yeah, he joined the Bass Galaxy advertisers group.
Easton, do you have a magical pocket rock?
I don't.
Oh,
I got to, when Pat was with me, I got to see the magic rock.
He got to witness it.
The magic rock.
Yeah, and actually, that probably is why you won the classic, because when you were checking the thing out,
He touched it?
Yeah, he did.
Magic was just delayed in one event.
It did, and then boom, yeah, it just did, and then all of a sudden it caught up with him, and he wins the classic.
Yeah.
So, thank you, Pedro, for that. Right,
Oh, yeah.
Seth?
Hell yeah. He just rubbed a little bit of it off in his boat, you know?
It's all good. But
Yeah.
check out Pedro's. The correct Instagram is Pedro Feider Officia, like a Spanish policeman. Officia.
Official.
Officia
Yeah.
is what it is. Don't subscribe to the other one. You don't want to talk to them. Pedro Feider Officia. And thank you sincerely, Pedro, for all you do. And Seth Feider, thank you for hopping aboard tonight and saying hi to your bud Easton.
No problem. Congrats again. And yeah, we'll see you boys in a week or so.
Yeah, big old North Carolina. Take your shirt off.
Good luck,
Wave
buddy.
it in the air like a helicopter.
Yeah.
That's what it
Thanks,
is.
bud.
We're gonna
Go
Thanks,
get him.
Seth.
Peace, Seth.
We'll see you.
See you later. That's Seth Feider, the dirty llama. Easton, that guy loves you, dude.
Oh, I love him.
Yeah, he really does, man. I mean, he's been a fan of yours since the get-go, since Jump Street. Hey, let's keep the good times rolling. What do you think? What do you think,
Sure.
Andrew Ellenberger, Ginger Ninja, producing the heck out of this
I
thing?
like that song.
Hey, I want to tell you too, if you have not already, like and share the live Facebook feed. Easton's giving away a Bassmaster Classic Champ Pack. Also, Sims is giving away a pair of Sims gloves. We have the laydowns from Waterland and a tin cup whiskey box of fun coming at you.
By the way, Bassmaster in the chat says they're going to pass on that whole getting rid of Bass Track for the final day to the higher ups.
Oh,
we're making progress here.
see, you're already making waves,
We're changing the
Fothergill.
world.
Ladies and gentlemen, just when you thought it was safe to go back in the water, we bring you more sneaky guests. The straight cast glorified version of Bass Fishing Talk Show, Bassmaster Classic Edition with Easton Fothergill. That was a lot of words.
Uh-oh. Here we go. Here we go.
There he
Oh,
is.
no.
Now let's get it all burned up. Ladies and gentlemen,
try to
Bassmaster
bring it
Elite
back.
Series sophomore and proper friend of Easton Fothergill. Give it up for Wesley Gore. Yes, Wesley, welcome back to the Straight Cast Show.
Yeah, it's glad to be back on here. At least I get to be on here with a champ this time.
I know, right? Pretty dang good. Pretty
right.
And you and Easton go way back. Why don't you tell us a little bit of the history there, bud?
Yeah, we spent some time together in college before I decided to move on past there, but we maintained the friendship, and I've just always talked to each other since then. I mean, we stayed pretty tight and connected from when we met each other. It was kind of like we hit it off immediately.
Yeah, and I could tell because you guys are always gravitating towards each other on the tour. It's like it's like you get two amazing proper bassin men who seem to be beyond their years. And Easton, let me tell you this about Wesley. Oh, wait a minute. There's more to this? There's more to this story? Oh, here's truck driver 9569 checking in from somewhere on a dusty highway. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the one and only Kyle McPatrick.
Looks like he's had a few red buttons.
Yeah, he's all jacked up.
How
He's all
revved up are you, Kyle?
all I see is
I'm a little crazy right now, Pat and Big E, the classic champ, and Big Wesley Gore. I'm on hour 27 straight.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah, dead straight, right through the night.
Last I saw, you sent me a picture of you and Todd Castledine smashing 10-pounders.
Kyle, you drove through the night last night.
No, no, I know. Remember when I called you? Oh yeah, I'm still driving.
Yeah. No.
He's still driving.
I'm still driving.
Wow.
Kyle, you need a bed.
You look great.
Yeah, he looks like just Kyle's face. That's all I see. It's almost like special effects. Andy, good job at the special effects of Kyle Patrick face separation. It's right there.
Any better?
No, that's way better. That's way better. So what we have here, Bass Galaxy, is three of the smartest men in bass fishing right now. Or two of them.
That's a tough one right there to say that.
All right, look. So get this. Easton.
Our total IQ went down when we got Kyle.
Yeah, you can. No, he made your guys' IQ go up. But
He's the anchor.
But listen to this, Easton. Now you tell me, you can relate to this because you've been around Wesley a lot, and obviously Truck Driver 9569 has as well. Now we're at, I think it was Smith Lake, right? That was the spotted bass deal.
Yeah.
And okay, and everybody's like, yeah, these spots are just outside. They're just doing nothing. They're just out there roaming around and doing this. And Wesley's like, no, they're just all wrong. What they're doing is following the original timberline, which was established in 1952 by the Corps of Engineers of Alabama. And what they're doing is actually following forage fish as they go in this migratory pattern. And I'm like, what? That's Easton. That's him. That's Wesley, right?
That's Wesley. Yeah.
Pat, you said that all wrong.
Sorry.
He said this. No, Pat, what they're doing is they're going down that tamper line. Let me tell you what, Pat, I used to catch them over there back in the day with my pops. Kyle, you're just a Yankee. Go fish that rock pile.
You don't worry about what I'm doing. That rock pile's perfect for you, Kyle.
Yeah, you like act like you have like this big sneak hole, and it's a rip-rap point that's sticking out of the water, and I'm like, holy cow!
Well, the one at Champlain.
No.
That's the Champlain
Pat was
one.
with me.
No, that's at Smith.
Oh, that was Smith. Oh, yeah, Champlain was the same spot. He just goes and looks for rocky points.
He's like, dude, I found him, and no one else is gonna find him. What?
Where?
It's this rip-rap point.
No. I never found that in practice. No.
You finally just opened your eyeball?
Dude, I was running back to the boat ramp. Pat was in my boat. Yeah. And I was running down, and of course I'm like this.
Normal.
While I'm riding down the lake.
Even
and I'm like, oh,
sleeping,
Pat. I said, oh, Pat, look at that anomaly over there. And Pat's like, you like anomalies? I said, damn right there. And I pulled over there, and I was like, oh, look at that. Looks like there's some stuff on there. Threw over my drop shot 3-pounder, culled out a 1. and then I caught a 4 there day 2, a 3.5 there day 3, and it was all off an anomaly.
Just like Easton Fothergill.
Easton is an anomaly. That's a good.
He really is.
Yeah.
He really is. I mean, it's crazy, guys. Here comes Easton Fothergill, rookie, and he smashed you guys. He smashed you.
Yeah, he just slithered in there too. He was like a snake. Like he slithered right in and took that classic trophy from all of us.
Not even shy about it. Not even shy about it.
I got to watch most of it.
Yeah, thank God. I would have been rattled. I'm so happy I wasn't in there. I'd have been like, and like I wouldn't have even gone over there because it's like, okay, he's smashing, but I would have been like, God dang.
Yeah, I mean, pretty crazy, man. Easton, these guys are some of your best buds on tour. That's quite a crew there. They say opposites attract.
Yeah, I mean, like Wesley said, met him through college, but I actually met Kyle through Wesley at last year's Classic is when kind of first got close with Kyle. We kind of worked together there, and yeah, I mean, I asked Kyle if he wanted to work together, and Kyle went to Wesley, and Wesley's like, yeah, you can trust this guy. And then, yeah, from then on, me and Kyle have talked.
I like how Wes. See, that's how the propers communicate. Because let's face it, it's proper bass, and it's the company you keep. You know,
Easton, Easton, don't lie. Wesley goes, yeah, you can trust him, but he's dumb as a rock.
No, I said no. I actually said he's really loud and he's a lot and he exaggerates sometimes. You have to bring him back down to earth. But
Talking
he is
about
very
Kyle.
trustworthy.
Yeah.
Okay, exactly. Okay.
I mean, but amazing, man. Give us some thoughts on Easton's victory, please, Wesley. Can you tell us about this, man? I mean, you guys are buds. It's got to be pretty dang.
I think we both knew potentially if you got in the right zone, or all of us, that you could catch the winning fish. And I knew that you would be around the winning fish in a few places. Like, I mean, you could just tell by looking at a map that certain places had them. And then just from, I don't know, practice, there were some big ones swimming around. So I knew where he was going to start and whatnot. And I knew where everybody was going to start. And I knew that any of us that had a good start had the potential to win. I mean, so it doesn't surprise me a bit. I mean, at all.
Yeah. I mean,
like
pretty
literally
awesome.
at all. Like, it doesn't surprise me.
How about you, truck drivers 9569?
Well, I was actually talking to Chris Aldane today, and I said, Chris, you remember when we were sitting? Because me and Easton, because Easton, Wesley, and I were going to go down to this, like, for 4 days or 3 days, and Chris was like, dude, come stay at our place. Totally cool. And Easton and I went. Wesley was going to come down, and Easton and I were like, Wes, you don't even need to come down. Like, we we got it. You know what I mean? Like, don't even waste the gas. And I told Easton went into bed like a responsible person, and I'm maybe having like a cold Dr. Pepper or something, and I told Chris, I said, because we had been on the water for like 2 or 3 days. I told Chris, I said, I would bet anything that Easton wins the Classic.
Really?
No.
I
You
swear
said
to God,
you
ask
were.
Chris.
You
Ask
said
Chris.
you were, and I shot you down. I said, no, I am.
Well, no, of course I said that when you were in there. But when it was just me and Chris, I'm not going to hype you up in front of you. You know what I mean? Because when you said that, like, we kind of dispersed. I remember specifically. And then I was like, no, really, he probably will win. I probably won't win. He probably will. And Chris was like, I don't know. Like, you just scoping those trees. Like, because he was going to throw a big swim bait. And I was like, no, he's going to win. So I knew it was coming even before practice. But then what was weird, Pat, was practice was so hard, I think, for everyone, like so hard. I mean, Wesley caught some big ones. Easton caught some big ones. I caught 2 big ones. But, like, you just didn't know. And I think what was so impressive for me about Easton and Wesley, because they both found, like, I never even got around that area. Like, I knew that of that area, but they just like made that adjustment so quickly. Whereas I kind of like was stuck and doing like something that I thought might, it was almost like by 11 o'clock, I was like, oh, I messed up. Like, I knew it already, but they made that adjustment by like 9, and that was the 2-hour difference. And I don't know what happened to you guys day one, but I just assumed that was sort of like how it went down.
Is that what happened, boys?
No, I didn't even. The place that he ended up catching the almost 30 pounds, neither one of us went to day one, which was a place that I caught an 8-pounder in practice. And he asked me where, and I told him where it was at, and he went over there and caught an 8-pounder. And
this was within
like
an hour of each other.
There was 2 8-pounders caught in like he said in a half hour there. And I thought I had seen some bass. I thought most of what I was seeing was bass, which was rare there. And we didn't know how to run in there. That's what made it the tough thing to go there, because we had to idle so far in the waves in the timber. And anyway, day one, we kind of just run around and fished. I did and whatnot. I caught mine where he ended up winning the tournament at, which was in the South Shore in Sandy. And I just never felt like I was around him. I didn't see a whole lot of bass. He obviously got around some and caught some, because from what I could tell, if you threw at a bass this week, it bit for the most part. I mean, it was just a matter of seeing them. They got smarter as the week went on, as expected, but I think that was just from there being less and less bass in the areas. It's not like there's a giant population there in the first place. But then day two, I just had bad timing, and he had great timing, and it worked out perfectly the way it was supposed to. I actually had been to the place that he caught the 29 pounds twice that second day and couldn't fit in because of spectator boats. And then he rolls in there, and anyway, it had shifted. Some of the other competitors have left, and he whacks them. So it works out perfect.
Yeah, and you said it worked out how it was supposed to. Worked out perfect.
Oh, yeah. I'm a believer in that. Whenever it's your time, it's your time. And it was perfect. I run back in there the third time, which was an hour later. And I pull up to him. I'm like, you got him? He's like, just 27. I picked the troller up. I'm like, you can have it.
Look at Easton just grimacing.
On that note, at 10:30, when I had a hole in the bottom of my Phoenix, I basically looked up and was like, when it's your time, when it's not your time, it's not your time.
It's not your time.
Right. With my rolled ankle from practice and a hole in my Phoenix, I said, yeah, I think it's about time. I think it's Wesley or Easton this time around.
He's and JB Weld. There he went.
Yeah.
No, it's pretty amazing, because he caught him quick too. Because I passed you running out when you were running to it. He fits in. I come back an hour later, and he caught 27 pounds.
Yeah, it all happened in about, I don't know, an hour and 20 minutes or so.
But didn't you fish multiple creeks, Biggie?
Not the second day.
Not the second day.
No, I'm saying in the tournament, though. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Like how
it took 3 creeks to ultimately win the tournament. It took 3 different creeks to win the tournament.
Yeah, that's what I find to be cool. I mean, that's how a lot of times I feel like it happens. But in the Classic, it's just really hard to like make the perfect move, because you have a lot of pressure. Not pressure. When in your situation, when you're the third after day one, like you have a lead, like there's a little more weight on your shoulders. So that becomes harder and harder throughout the event to make like really key good decisions like that. That's why it was impressive. I mean, aside from the fact that like, you're not like, I mean, you basically are you're a seasoned angler, but like it's your first year on the Elite Series. Like that's really impressive. Like, for someone like me who like I would be so jacked up day 2, I don't even know if I could make that decision. I would just be like,
that's tough.
It's seriously. I joke around about it. I'm joking around about it, Pat, but that actually is like the hardest part of tournament bass fishing.
He says he does that against the grain all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, I
leave a spot where you caught 29 pounds.
Yeah, that's silly. But Easton did it, and he does. You said you do that stuff all the time, right, Easton?
Yeah, that rule is not in my rule book. I always leave fish to find fish. I do it all the time.
That's crazy to me. That's crazy to me.
Insane. Hey, we got to get to some viewer questions. Would Truck Driver 9569 and Wesley, you want to stick around for some questions to Easton?
Sure.
Let's hear
You might
it.
as well. There's some good ones here. You guys can even chirp in on this if you want. The first one here comes from Bassmaster. In this, this is Laura AG. You guys know Laura, right?
Laura's active, yeah.
Yeah, Laura is the
Definitely
best. So she wants to know, did all that adrenaline from winning the event helped you to heist that trophy over your head? Because that's a heavy deal. I mean, let's face it, that's a heavy deal. Did the adrenaline help?
Oh, it definitely did. Yeah. I mean, Hamner warned me when he was about to hand it to me. He said, "Look, this thing's heavy," and he handed it to me, and I said, "Yeah, this is heavy."
How much does that thing weigh? What do you think? 20, 30, 40
say
pounds?
40 pounds.
40? Yeah, that's awkward. It's awkwardly shaped too.
Yeah, it is. It is.
It's bigger than a dirty 30.
It would be bad to break it on the stage. It would not be good.
Remember when, speaking of 04, remember Takahiro needed some help with that a little bit, didn't he?
He did.
On that dirt.
He got it up there, though.
He did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Takahiro always can get it
He
up.
just needed a spotter.
Hey, all right, let's get to some more viewer mail. It's time for viewer mail. Is that how the song goes? It does now. All right. When Easton is fishing a NACO rig, how do you decide what weight to use? And I know this was a key factor, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That comes from Dylan Hignite.
I mean, for me,
he knew.
For me, it's, day one, it's blowing 40, and day two, it's glass calm. So in that situation, it's obvious whether to go heavy or light. But beyond that, on day two, compared to day one, they were pasted to the bottom for me. I mean, like, to the point where you almost had to throw before you'd be able to see them. And then day two, they were legit like 6 inches under the surface. So, that's just another scenario where I would downsize the weight.
Yeah. And
are those fish that are at the surface, they're following it all the way down or eating it on the way down? Or
No. I'd throw it in there, and with the 1/32, it's light enough to where I can shake it and just leave it on top of their face until they grab it.
Gotcha.
All right. Josh Whitford wants to know if the wind blew all 3 days like the first day, if all this still would have happened. Okay.
I mean, there's no telling. That lake's really interesting because, the fish seem to shift a little bit each day, and they seem to set up different each day. So, for me, it was just all about making the correct adjustment each day. So, who knows if I would have made the right adjustment if we were to do it over again? Who knows?
He probably would have, because it was me. He just would have. You know what I mean, Kyle? He would have. I have full confidence.
I think it happens the same way. I really do. I think it does.
Yeah.
The fish he was catching or all of us were trying to catch would have been not affected by that. Truly, The only thing was you wouldn't have had new ones coming, but it would have affected everybody. There would have been less fish on the bank, so there would have been less people catching them on chatterbait and less guys catching them flipping up shallow. The warm second day is what helped those guys more than it did Easton.
Yeah,
I
agree
gotta
with that, Wes.
Go ahead.
Oh, 100%.
And that's from a certified swim jig fisherman himself.
Yeah, you had a warm night, like day three.
Shake it. Shake it.
Day three was set up for a shallow guy, like 100%. That's why it was so tough on him. There was a 60-degree night after a flat calm day. The water warmed up tremendously, and it didn't cool off at night.
And that's why I started.
There was more fish up there the third day than any.
With that warm night is why I started in a different place than I did the rest of the tournament, because in practice, the warmest day we had, I seen them like with my eyes on a sandbar in the back of that place.
Wow.
Like giants. And I was thinking it was a warm night that they would be pushed back there, right away in the morning, but it didn't work out that way.
They wanted to.
Easton, Sean Dowell wants to know, how many hours of real sleep did you get each night of the Classic?
That's a good question.
Real sleep?
Sleep.
Like actually 0.
Really? Like
Yeah.
each
Come
night?
on.
Not like Kyle Patrick. Zero. Like
all right.
he
The
sleeps in
final
his
day,
drawer.
the final day is zero sleep, like actual like good sleep,
Really?
zero. I mean, the days before, like we'll say 4 hours.
Jeez.
Yikes.
Just laying there trying to go to sleep, or are you just doing stuff?
No, I'm trying to go to sleep.
That's brutal.
Did you try warm milk? All right, here is one. I lost it. Oh, this is a real good question because it's open-ended. And Eddie Endicott wants to know. Check this out, Easton. Do you have a plan for what is coming next? I don't know what it means, but let's let you figure out what that means, Easton. Do you have a plan for what is coming next?
It's a great question.
What's coming next? For me, it's turning my Elite Series season around.
Okay. Good answer, because I'd still eating at him, Wesley.
And do you have a plan?
Is. Yeah, I'm still upset.
What's
And
the
we
plan?
still-
What's the plan for that?
Win the classic.
We're shooting for a blue trophy. That's the goal.
Okay.
Win the next tournament.
Hey.
There you go. Yeah.
Wesley, Kyle, he's shooting for the blue. He's shooting for old blue now.
I mean, that's what we're all shooting for.
That's everybody's goal, you know.
Hey, I'll do a little
Hey.
deal on this straight cast for everyone.
Oh,
Wait,
yeah.
what's
Pat,
going on here?
Pat,
Gentlemen,
pick a
wait.
winner. And Pat, I owe you. I owe you a lose spinning reel, a custom light, by the way.
Oh, from a show?
Yes. And James Watson gave it away. But
Because I don't
anyway,
know how to use spinning reels.
Okay, I got a right hand retrieve custom pro. I'll give it away to a viewer, and we can choose tonight. But and my bet is Easton wins a blue trophy this year.
Okay, so but how do they win the lose reel now? You're just throwing down weight.
Well,
What is he doing? Easton? He's just
I don't know. I guess they're betting against him.
I don't think you're going to get a lot of takers.
What was the
on this
Beavis and Butthead laugh? I don't even know what is going on here. Hell of a prize, truck driver 95 cents.
I guess I just phrased that wrong. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Here's the deal. I guess before
try,
Watson made you give away a spin reel, you still owe that to somebody. Rock and Show Fantasy will do that. And now you got to give away one of them fancy gold lose reels no matter what because you opened your big mouth.
Okay.
See? Right, Easton? That's how we play here, right?
That's right.
That's how we do it. And I want to remind you, too, if you haven't, Easton's giving away a Bassmaster Classic tackle pack. And this is stuff that you don't have, Wesley. So hopefully you liked and shared the live Facebook feed. Also giving away a pair of Waterlands. We all love the Waterlands. Also giving away Tin Cup Mountain Goodness to your door. And, of course, Sims Sun Gloves. So if you didn't like and share. And now a reel from Kyle.
That's actually a pretty impressive lineup.
Dude, that's like a party. That's a Bassmaster Classic party pack right
not the
there.
Party, not the party with anyway.
That's Party City. I mean, we should all got mullet wigs from Party City for this deal. It's that good. Have you ever considered growing the smallmouth hair out, Easton, like your buddy Feider?
I mean, I was close in Florida, and I cut that, so I guess now we got to keep.
Got rid of it, and then you won the Classic. So yeah, don't do that. Don't go changing nothing.
I'm gonna go with the shorter. I mean, it's already getting long. I'm gonna have to cut it again for North Carolina, but
It looks like you just woke up out of bed.
just about.
He looks like a Bassmaster Classic champion. I don't know what you're talking about, Wes.
Hey, we've been friends for a long time. I can give him crap all I want, and that don't change nothing.
He says all this standing at 5'8", so you got to cut him flat.
Yeah. Don't forget, Easton Fothergill has the wingspan of a pterodactyl. He'll take you out, Wesley, before you
That's
even
fine.
know it.
Hey, when we get on the ground, it ain't gonna matter.
Hey, Wesley, Easton seems so innocent and everything. Tell me a story about a college story about Easton. He had to. What's the most trouble he's ever been in without getting arrested?
I really never did. We both kind of stayed away from that stuff in college, honestly. I mean,
Not like Kyle Patrick.
no, we were not like Kyle Patrick.
Not like Kyle Patrick.
I mean, like I can't even think of a time that I remember seeing Easton
like
out
Diet
super
Cokes?
late.
Did you ever hear about the time that Kyle Patrick got in trouble for cow tipping? Look it up on the internet. Search Kyle Patrick cow tipping. You'll see. You'll see it yourself right there.
How much did you tip him? Yeah.
Hey,
Anyway,
let's give away some goodness. Let's get this party concluded here, and let's give away some fun packs. What do you say? Hey, Andy, you want to text everybody the winners? Why don't you want to do it that way? And I'll take you can send me the tin cup one. Well, Easton's got to give them away, right? It's because it's the Easton show.
Yes.
Yeah, we got to do it that way. Because Easton's got it. That's the Sims prize, the Waterland prize, and the Easton Fothergill pack, party pack. There it is.
Yeah.
All right, Andy's going to text them to
pack.
you. Easton, what do you like? Do you like drum rolls? Do you like medieval fanfare? Do you like Kyle Patrick singing his favorite song in the background while you give away the prizes? What's your preferred background sound effect? Do you want Kyle to sing?
Well, Kyle can sing.
Okay, let's have Kyle sing a song for us.
Kyle made me speak in front of the champions toast, so we'll have him sing on the podcast.
All right, go ahead. So sing, please.
I'm here. I'm in a store, and I'm singing. Hey.
Is that the soundtrack from Frozen?
From Elf.
That's from I know him.
No. I'll get it. I'll do a different one. Ready?
Yes. Keep singing, please. Easton, we're going to give away. Do you have the text?
I'm running down the train. I'm running close to me. Working on a mystery.
Giving away prizes.
Beautiful day. The sun was unstoppable. A little runaway.
All right. What do we got, Easton?
All right. The Easton prize pack is Adam Douglas.
Adam Douglas, you won the Easton Fothergill Champ pack. That's right. Send a direct message to JR Rock and Shoal Fantasy at the Straight Cast Facebook. Okay, let's keep rolling them. What do we got?
Waterlands is Jeremy Elrod.
Jeremy Elron?
Elrod.
Run it down a dream with Waterland sunglasses right there. Good. Again.
And the Sims is Tim Kazi.
Tim Kazi. Yes.
Congratulations, people.
Amazing. All right, now hold on a second. Wait, are you serious about? There's no way.
What?
Kyle, you shared the feed, huh? Kyle won the tin cup whiskey pack. Kyle Patrick did.
This is truck driver 9569.
Oh yeah, truck driver 9569. It says it must be Kyle Patrick on Facebook. Unreal. You won from the Great things happen. You really did win. This could be the highlight of your 25 season.
Oh, God. I'm running down a dream, Pat.
You're running.
Easton, you manifested that?
He did. He ran down a dream, Easton. He should have manifested an Elite Series trophy, but instead he manifested a box of tin cup to his door.
It's gonna come when you least expect it.
Yeah. I mean, love hides in narrow corners. It does.
Yes, it does.
Hey, Easton Fothergill, thank you for being an amazing Bassmaster Classic champion thus far, and we have full confidence in your representation of this role throughout the year. Don't you think, Wesley? Isn't he a fine example of a Bassmaster Classic champion?
He's a man of few words. You won't have to worry about too much out of him.
He lets the bassin do the talking, as we see. Easton, again, congratulations. We are so proud of you. And thank you so much for coming on this show tonight. We appreciate you so much.
Thank you
so much, Easton Fothergill. And so much to look forward to you throughout the rest of your career, man. So much to come. Amazing. Hey, we're going to let Wesley and Kyle close the show, of course. Maybe they'll just argue and bicker about something, but we're going to let them close. Thank you, Omnia Sims, Bob's Jack Plates, Impulse Lithium Batteries, Bill and Darlene, we love you. Power Pole, Tin Cup Mountain Whiskey, Berkeley, Abu Garcia, Mad Science Print Lab, and of course, Waterland Sunglasses. Thank you to the bass that we all love and that binds us together and that we all chase this dream because thank you to BASS for the platform, and thank you, Bass Galaxy, for the love and support that you show this amazing sport. Remember, bass fishing does not need negativity. We don't need you. Go home. Bye-bye. All right? Bass fishing is a man's game, right?
True.
Yeah. If you want to set a thing,
Sayonara negativity.
here's the deal. We saw an example of it at the Classic. Things will no longer be handled on the keyboard. Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. Old Testament, it's going down. You get lippy, you pay. Right? Right? I don't have a front tooth. I'll show you. I'll take it out right here on the Bassmaster Classic show because I got lippy. See that? That's what happens.
Don't be talking on your front porch.
Yeah. That's what happens in the Bass Galaxy. You see that? Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. The new dawn of the proper bassin' man is now. In Easton Fothergill, you are a fine representation. Give it up. Hey, truck driver, 9569 and Wesley, Gore, take us home, would you? Say goodbye to the Bass Galaxy and say whatever you want. I'm out of here. Easton, I love you, bud. I'll see you in North Carolina. Keep kicking ass. Easton Fothergill.
Congrats again,
I'm
bud.
out of here.
We'll see y'all.
Hey, Wes. Wes.
What? What do you want?
How you doing, buddy?
I'm about to get off here, bro.
No, don't leave me.
Man, I've been working all day. I got to go to bed.
I
This
haven't
is a
gone to
horrible
bed in 2
closing.
days.
I'm getting off here. We'll see y'all.
I
Easton, you're amazing. Thank you. Easton Fothergill. Thank you, Easton. Give it up, Bass Galaxy. We'll see you next week.